What's going on, y'all? Okay, so hold on. Just took my scarf off, let my hair breathe. Pretty much been on all day, that's why I'm a little rough around the edges. But never mind that. We're here to have a talk today. So I want to talk about letting go of what we need because we too busy chasing what we want. What do I mean by that? Speaking in terms of relationships. For the ladies, I'm speaking about the men. For the men, I'm speaking about women. See, I come to realize this about myself. I was the guy I keep referring to as my ex, the one that I'm speaking on in the video about the power and how I went off or whatever. So, I've already addressed the fact that I know I'm attracting people who are on the same level as me. And that's why I'm attracting people who I feel like are below me. Like, for example, him. His name is Tremaine. Tremaine, Reek. I'm going to call him Reek. He don't like his real name. The nickname that his people call him is Reek, and I, started calling him that. I came accustomed to that. To his face, I call him Bay. But anyways, first off, let me start by saying my vlog episodes are like a month behind. Like the episode I'm going to put up next week, which is episode 8, is shit that happened the week of September 21st. So the episode that's out now, episode 7, is the week of November 13th. So, shit happens and I edit 2 to 3 weeks together and post it up. So that shit happened previously. It's like reality shows. They film it, then they put it out the following year. You know what I'm saying? So that's the concept I use, well, the outline I use for my vlog episodes. So, I'm going to start by saying that, because a lot of them episodes I refer to him as my ex. And, talking about how we ain't fucking with each other and woo. And at that time, when all that shit was going down with the power loss and all of that, I blamed him for it. And like I said in a couple of my other videos, I can't blame him because when I entered into the relationship with him, I knew he was broken. I knew where he needed work. I knew that he needed work. You feel me? Because he was me. A year before I met him, I had just came out of what he was just going into, that phase in his life. I had just came out of that the year before I met him. So I got it. I understood him. And that's why I was willing to work with him through all his lessons he was learning or whatever, right? So, yeah, when all that shit went down with the power, it's human nature to want to place the blame, and I blamed him. But at the end of the day, because I wanted to take responsibility off myself, I didn't do my part as his woman, knowing that he's in this transition phase, going from being a nigga to a man. He was actively working towards growing himself as a man. And I didn't do my part to make sure that we stayed on track because I was further than him in my journey of growing as a woman. You feel me? So, I realized after 2 months, so in September is when I started to get over it and started to realize, that shit happened for a reason. It went down like it did for a reason. It happened like it did because I was getting comfortable over there in that house. You know what I'm saying? I was getting comfortable here to the point where I would have been like, fuck it, I'm not going to move out of state because I'm straight. For what? And, if you don't break out of your comfort zone, you'll never reach your full potential. And had that not happened, had the power not got cut off and the knot went down like it did, I'd still be over there and I would have talked myself out of moving down south. Because it happened, it's forcing me to say, okay, do you want to stay over there and put the power in somebody else's name and, have a motherfucker feel like they got some type of control over you because it's in their name? Or do you want to find you somewhere else to go and pay rent and, in essence, be stuck here a little while longer than I could leave if I wasn't paying rent? So it made me decide to sacrifice my personal space to be able to live better. You know what I'm saying? In the long run, to be able to save up from now until June when my baby get out, to be able to go down south and get a house right away instead of renting for a year and then buying a house. You feel me? So now I can save like I was paying rent. So altogether, monthly, my bills when I was living over there was the rent was $500. We energies was between $200 and $250 every month. So we paying $750 off top every month, and then that's just with rent and we energy. You still got gas to get back and forth from work. You still got food. You still got little toiletries, household necessities, odds and ends, the baby shit. You know what I'm saying? So all in all, I'm probably coming out like, I'm gonna say a good stack, $1,500 a month to live. So imagine if I could take away $700 of that, $750 of that. It only makes sense. I could be stacking $750 every month instead of paying rent and we energies. That way, by the time I get down there, I have a stupid ass down payment on a house. Been looking at houses too. They got some beautiful houses for the LO. I'm talking about on half an acre of land for like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. Like, you know how much half an acre is? That's like, you know how close our houses are to in Milwaukee? Imagine your house, the next two houses are gone, then your neighbor house. In the back, your house, you got the alley, this neighbor's house, and then they alley. They street. That's how much backyard space you got. You got that whole alley, the neighbor house, and the street in front of their house. That's your backyard. 70,000, 80,000, shit, run it, nigga. You understand? I can get a loan where I would only have to pay 5% down on whatever the house is. So that means if the house like 60 bands, I'm gonna have to put down 4,000. So imagine if I keep saving, if I say $750 a month from here, well, from November, because I got to start working first. Job for tomorrow, don't finna knock that out. But imagine if I got heartburn, excuse me. I made some lasagna last night. And I ate some today for lunch, and it's fucked me all the way up. I went from vegan to vegetarian ever since I've been out of my house. Because I don't really like cooking in nobody else's kitchen. So I went back to eating cheese because I can't really cook my vegan meals like I want. And it's just easier to go ahead and cook with cheese when you're not eating meat. So my body is not reacting well to that shit at all. But I'm going to get back on it starting in November. I like to do shit evenly. So beginning of the month type shit. So starting November, I'm going to get back off that cheese, go back to straight veganism. But right now I'm on vegetarianism, which ain't that bad. I just get bloated and the heartburn from the cheese. I don't eat eggs. And I don't drink milk. So it's really just cheese. But, yeah. So after I realized that I'm pointing fingers when at the end of the day, this wasn't nobody but the Most High setting me up for betterment. You know what I mean? I literally saw that around September. Shit happened in July. And it took me till September to forgive him, to stop blaming him, to realize that it wasn't just on him. It was on me too. Because I could have easily been making sure, like, you paying the bill, where I could have been on some, give me your half, and I'll pay it, because I knew he hadn't grown into financial responsibility. I knew that. I knew what stage in his progress he was in, because I had been there. He is me. He reminds me of me in every way, shape, or form, from the way we grew up to the way we ain't never seen what it is to love a man, to love a woman, because he didn't have his mama. I didn't have my daddy. I had him, but I didn't have him. I didn't have him as an example on what a man's supposed to be or how a man's supposed to treat a woman. I never seen that. I don't know. My daddy used to beat my mama, so I don't know. You understand? Because he was on drugs. But that's neither here nor there. My point is, my daddy was barely there. You know, a lot of his kids think we had it better because my mama and him was married, so they thinking like, oh, they living with him and they had a real daddy and we didn't. When he was there, it was drama, physical violence. When he wasn't there, he was telling us the same thing he was telling y'all. Like, I'll be there in an hour. We got our bags packed sitting by the door and he never show up type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't say that for sympathy. I say that for people to get an understanding. I don't know what a real man look like. Most of us don't. You know, the system was designed to keep the black family in a state of confusion. And if you confused and don't understand yourself and who you want to be and what you can be, how can you understand what it is to share your space, your life, your world with another person? You can't. So, my point is, I was willing to throw away a man who don't just tell me he loved me, he shows me. You understand? If he fuck up and I bring it to him like, yo, you fucked up and my point is valid and I'm speaking fact, he don't fight it because his pride and his ego. He don't try to force his opinion as right. If he wrong, he take that on the chin and he actively formulates a plan to be better, to do better as a man. And then he makes strides towards being this better man. Like, I've seen him go from nigga to man. And now that he understands he can be a man without having seen an example, he can be a man by being the opposite of what he know a man shouldn't be, or he can be what he needed as a man. You know what I mean? Like, my mother didn't raise me, I raised myself. But I'm such a good mother to my daughter because I said I'm going to give her everything I wish my mother would have gave me. You understand? You can either continue the cycle by saying, oh, well, I never seen it. I don't know how to be a mother. My mother wasn't a mother. Okay, that's cool. But you know what you think you should have got from your mother. Looking back, you know, like, oh, if my mama would have did this, I wouldn't be like that. I want to give my baby everything that I feel like I should have got from my mother. And I feel like that's what he doing. He already knew that's what it was going to be. But if you don't have no positive, well, I'm going to say if you don't have nobody helping you guide your energy in a positive direction, it's going to always come out as, you know, it's going to always come out as, I don't necessarily want to say negative, but it's not going to be beneficial to your growth as a person, man or woman. So that's why it's important. That's why you hear all these people talking about positive vibes, positive energy, because that shit real. If you surround yourself with that energy, then it's going to start to rub off on you. You're going to start to see your life, your reality. Perception is reality. And you're going to start to perceive the world in a positive way because that's all you always around is a bunch of positive people. My dumb ass, I'm trying to sit on these beans and shit. About to bust my ass. So, my point is, y'all, it's so easy to get caught up in chasing what you think you want. But at what point do you stop and ask yourself, why do I want this? Why is this the type of man I'm steady chasing? I find myself chasing men that were or that resemble my daddy in his prime. But see, my daddy in his prime was the dope man. You understand? He didn't understand love. He didn't even love himself, let alone my mama. He had plenty bitches. You understand? That's why he got so many kids. Because he was that nigga at one point. Before he started smoking it, when he was selling it, he was that nigga. And that's the person that I find myself chasing. And that's a want. That's not a need. Like, that type of man can't do nothing for me because I'm elevated past the materialism. And him in his prime, he was a materialistic person. It wasn't no depth to him. It wasn't no substance. It was strictly, finna get this money so I could shine. And sometimes I find myself telling myself, lying to myself, like, yo, all you need is money and all your problems will go away. But that's not the case. You look at a lot of people with money, they miserable as fuck because they sacrificed more than personal space to get there. They sacrificed their morals, their beliefs, their dignity, their soul. You understand? So that's not the type of man I need. That's not even the type of man I want. That's the type of man society tells me I should have. Based on my background, what I come from, what I'm bringing to the table right now in this moment. But that's not who Most High got for me. That's not the type of man Most High is trying to send to me. He is the type of man Most High is trying to send to me. The type of man who not gonna give up on me when I give up on myself. The type of man who loves me enough to pull me from a point where I'm so depressed that I don't even love myself enough to, rest or take a load off my feet or whatever. Yeah. I've tried to push him away. And not only will he not go, he ain't going. But every time I try to push him away, something deep, deep down inside me tells me, like, you bugging. It's not going to be too often that you find people who really love you for you. Not the expectation of you, not the thought of you, but really, genuinely love you and what you bring to the table. Like, he's loved me through my worst. The biggest I've ever been, the most depressed I've ever been, the loneliest I've ever been. I took that all out on him over our 2 years. And he still called me just to hear my voice. You know what I'm saying? He still, when we together, no matter how much I try to pull him out of it, he want to make sure I'm good before anything else. Hell, before he even makes sure himself good. And that's one thing I'm trying to get him out of because, and I mean, he know it now. Within these past 3-4 months, it clicked to him like, oh shit, that's what she meant. Because I always tell him, don't do it for me. That don't make sense. You got to do it for yourself before you can do it for anybody else. No matter what it is we talking about. You can't be a better person for me. You got to be a better person for you. Or else it's not going to stick. If you're trying to be a better person just for me, then it's on you. It's not in you. You putting it on for me. But it's not going to come natural to you because it's not nothing you really feel like you need to do or you want to do. Now he's doing shit for him. He's changing for him. And that's another thing I love about him. He take advice. You understand? A lot of people will whine to you about their problems. But when you give them advice in different ways to try to fix it, or different ways to try to fix it, or rectify the situation, they don't be trying to listen. They don't want to take that. All they really be wanting is to play the victim. And that's not him. I give him advice. He takes it and he tries to implement it into his life. And it may take him 2 or 3 restarts because, after living so long and believing something for so many years, it's hard to break that and start new habits. But he'll continuously force himself to start over until it becomes natural. You understand? Like, how can that not be for me? How can that not be something that God sent me? I don't know. I'm really just venting right now, but I really do feel like that I was about to throw away one of those rare good men that we complain about, that we always hollering ain't out here. They get overlooked a lot because a lot of the times they not fully assembled. And I'm sitting here like, oh, I could do better. I need somebody fully assembled and ready and already there. But I don't think that's the case. I think I'm telling myself that because I'm scared of the love he bringing. I don't know how to accept it. Like, I don't know how to accept love. I've realized that about myself. A lot of the times I don't be thinking I deserve it. Number one. So I kind of push it away. But the fact that he won't let me push it away, he won't let me push him away. He's tried. He gave up a time or two, like, fuck this bitch, she doing too much. And it's understandable because I be pushing. But then he always come back like, I know you for me and I know I'm for you, even if you don't know it yet. He always say that that's what the Most High tell him. And I can't say he wrong. And I love him. I do. You don't stay with nobody at their worst. You don't try to build a man if it ain't no love there. And I love him because he a good person. He got a good heart. And he want to be good. He want to be better. He just don't know how. He ain't never had nobody he can turn to and look to for guidance. He was that person in his family. Like, his family, they all lean on him. And his mama and all of them. Like, he the one in his family that everybody called, from his older brother to his mama, whoever. Like, I need this, I need that. You understand? And I'm that in my family. So, at the same time where he don't have nobody to look up to for guidance, I'm elevated past the point where I need somebody to look up to for guidance. So I feel like it's a reason I can't let him go. You understand? It's not no sexual thing. Like a previous relationship I stayed in for 5 years, he wasn't shit. And it was strictly me staying around on some dickmatized sex type shit. Because I had never dealt with somebody like him sexually. So I stayed around. I took a lot of disrespect, a lot of bullshit from him. And then I met Reek, which is who I'm talking about now. And Reek showed me that it is a lot of good guys out here. Now the thing about Reek, that was kind of pushing me away was his lack of maturity, his lack of responsibility. But I can't be mad at him for being lost in that aspect when he ain't never had to do it. He don't have no kids. He ain't never, it's just him. You understand? He ain't never really had to be responsible. He ain't never really had to be the leader. He ain't never really had to grow up. But he want to. He just need a little, like, a map. A map quest. Map. You feel me? So I had to reflect during that little time that I was trying to push him away. Do I deserve him? B, is he the type of man I want? Or is he the type of man I need? C, is his flaws something I'm willing to use patience on? Am I willing to be patient enough to not only help this man through this phase in his learning cycle, but am I patient enough to accept the flaws that I call out in him if he can't get it right? Well, ain't no right or wrong, I should say. Not if he can't get it right, but if he can't come up to a level that I feel like he should be on, am I willing to accept it? And then I'm trying my best to turn off my mind and let the Most High guide me. You understand? Like, that don't mean I'm gonna be stupid or I'm gonna blind myself to red flags or facts or bullshit. It simply means I'm trying to listen to my intuition, my gut feeling, more than telling myself that I know what it is. If that make any sense at all. Probably don't. I think I kind of confused myself saying it out loud, but simpler terms, I'm trying to let Most High give me the answer when it comes to this man, because I say it all the time. I tell my sisters all the time, he is a good man. He's just, like most of us, lost. And that made me wonder, like, damn, as black women, we do a lot of complaining about how it's not a lot of good men left. But I'm wondering if it's tons of good men left and we just don't have the patience to work with them because we've exhausted all our patience on fuckboys because it looked good on the outside. But I don't know. I don't know if it's not loneliness. I think it's July, the whole month of July, ever since the power got cut off. I was pissed. I was livid. I was so mad at him that all I wanted to do was hurt him. So, you know, I talked to a couple guys or whatever. Met up with one or two. On some date type shit. Y'all seen the videos about that, how it didn't work out or whatever, but it made me realize that not only do everybody have flaws, but just because some shit shiny and sparkly on the outside don't mean that it's beautiful on the inside. I've ran into a lot of guys who are attracted to me physically, but they could never open themselves up enough to give me what I need like he's willing to, because of whatever reason. And it's like, damn, why would I leave this good ass man that I've already established a bond and chemistry with to jump into something new and have to work on another bond and chemistry when it's a toss-up? It might not even be compatible. Like, our ideas about life are so similar We got a lot of similarities. You know, it's some things about him that irritate the fuck out of me. But just like it's a lot of shit about me, I'm sure irritates the fuck out of him. But it all boils down to I don't want to start over. And I feel like if I try to start over, it's more so me pushing him away and running from something real than me actually thinking I can do better. Because what's better? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's better? The only thing that will be better than him is a man who is together financially. A man who, I can't even say is more elevated mentally because he not no dummy at all. He could I could take him to a corporate event and he can talk and articulate just fine. We could sit down and talk about politics. He could talk more about politics than I can. I don't really follow it. We could sit down and talk about consciousness. I can give him game. I get game from him. You understand? He a sponge. He want to learn. And when he learn, he soak it up and he researches. So, the only thing that will be better when I say like, oh, I could do better, is probably a man who financially all together, but that ain't shit. That can come. We can get that together. Matter of fact, he finna get that on his own. He gave me a lot of credit for getting him to that point, but in my mind, he did the work. All I did was give him a map. That's it. I gave him a formula. He chose to follow it, so he put that work in. He deserved that credit. So yeah, shit, I just answered my own question. Yeah, we good. I see. He ain't got no kids. He finna go for his trucking. And yeah. That's all it is. I just had to sit back and ask myself, like, am I bugging? Do we have what it takes for us to last? And I believe he do, but I'm not going to answer no questions. I'm going to wait for the answers. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for Most High, and I'm going to blow with the wind and continue letting Most High, ancestors, in particular my granny, direct me. Because I got full faith that they going to give me the answers I'm looking for. You know, coupled with my past wisdoms from lessons learned. So, but yeah, I think we good. I love him. He loved me. He want me. I want him. Sometimes I feel like maybe I'm being stupid for waiting for a motherfucker to get their shit together. Especially because he lied to me a couple times, but the lies haven't been nothing like detrimental. They've been little stupid shit. Like, you know, you don't want to hear a motherfucker mouth, so you tell them what they want to hear. No harm, no foul. Ain't nobody getting hurt out of it, so who cares? It be them type of little lies, little white lies, if you will. But I feel like he ain't never lied to me about no shit that matter. So I don't know. Everybody lie. Hell, sometimes I lie. especially about shit like it won't affect them, you know. So I can't hold that against him. That's human nature. I just, we'll see. So I say all that to say, stop throwing away good people, good men, good women, to chasing behind an illusion. That bad bitch got a nice body, but is she gonna hold you down when you fall? That nigga got some money, got a nice little car, but is he gonna hold you down when you fall? Is the car his? Bitch got on name brand and $1,000 pair of shoes, but living in a room in somebody else's house. No car. Yeah, you seen that nigga in the driver's seat, fresh to motherfucking death, over $5,000 on his body. But where does he take that car to? Do we take it back to the owner? Do we pull up to a house of his own? Is he a renter? Do he even have a house? Or is he in mama's basement? Those clothes he got on, did he borrow them from a friend? Did he pay for them? And if he did pay for them, does he have a mortgage, a deed? Does he own that car? Or is he spending thousands on name brand clothes, keeping these white folks rich when he don't have nothing to his name? That's what I mean. Once you realize it's deeper than the surface, you'll be able to ask better questions and find people that can help you be a better you. And that's one thing I realize he does. Reek do that for me. He makes me a better me in a lot of ways. Yeah. He handsome. A chocolate self. Tall chocolate. So yeah. I think I gave 5 years to a nigga I knew wasn't shit. I'm 2 years in with this man, with Reek. February to be 3 years. But my point is, I think he worth seeing. I think it's worth us continuing to grow. And I'm gonna see. I'm definitely gonna see. It could be beautiful. It could be so beautiful. I've been watching Remy Ma and Papoose show too. That's another thing. I've been watching their show, and the way Papoose treat Remy, like fuck the gifts. The way he love her, it's undeniable. You could see how much he love her. He's so in love with her. Like, he worship the ground Remy walk on. And that's Reek to me. Reek is my Papoose. I was sitting there and I saw the first episode and I was like, aw, Papoose love the shit out of Remy. I need me a Pap. And then I thought about it like, I got a Papoose. Reek is my Papoose. That man loves me. So yeah, that's really what made me stop and think and open my eyes to 3D vision. Watching that damn Remy Ma and Papoose show. Like, oh my God. I'm sitting here trying to better myself to attract a man like Papoose. Not necessarily like him, but to attract a man that loves me for me in the way that Papoose loved Remy for Remy. And I got that. If I went to jail tomorrow for 7 years, Reek would be there to pick me up on day 365 of that 7 years. You feel me? He would be there. It would be straight like that. It's amazing. Like, you don't even realize what you got until it's damn near gone or gone. So, yeah. Luckily, he loved me enough to love me through my bullshit moments. God must have had a rain on him like, hey, whoa. Just chill. She gonna come back around. I don't know what it was. I mean, he said that like God kept him with me. God told him that I was his wife. I can't knock the message Most High send other folks. All I know is how he communicates with me. That's how I know it's real. I know that he really do be talking to people. You just have to listen. You got to know how to listen for you. He ain't gonna talk to everybody the same. He speaks to this man through his dreams. I get it through feelings, intuitions, like strong feelings that I can't shake. So, keep y'all posted. This has been another episode of The Game. Come catch you some. Today's game was stop trying to push away people who truly for you, looking for people who look good for you. There we go. Till next time, y'all. Peace, love, light.